Good afternoon, I'm Jerry With. We are here in Chicago, Illinois at the NCRA convention, and we have as our guest this afternoon, Marilynn Dillard. Good afternoon, Marilynn.
Good afternoon.
And Marilynn, tell us where you were born and raised and a little bit about your family and where you went to high school.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, where I have lived all of my life, basically. I was the youngest child of 5. Mother and father not very well educated. However, it was demanded of the children that they get as much education as possible, to select a profession. And after doing that, to give back to your community, to your profession, to your church, whatever you're involved in, you ought to give them the best that you have. And at this time, everyone in my family, with the exception of one brother, is deceased. He lives in Altadena, California, and is a retired teacher.
So you went to high school in
Detroit, Northwestern High School. After that, I enrolled in Wayne State University and dropped out. And it was much later that I decided to go back and obtain a bachelor's degree in business administration. I went to court reporting school with a lady who was a part of the Nuremberg trials, Elsa Cooper. And she was more than a mentor. It was just fascinating to kind of sit at her feet and listen to all of the experiences that she had. And then along the way, I met William Oliver, who also became a mentor. I don't know whether I would just label him as a mentor or / whatever.
He was all things to all people.
All things to all people. I went to work as an official and ended up working for the chief judge. And Bill also worked for the chief judge. So it was an interesting experience for a few years.
That it was. So what was your first job out of reporting school?
I went to a freelance agency with a Mr. William Rittinger and Mr. Dombrowski. I can't even remember his first name. And I worked there for 2 years. And then I decided that I wanted to go into court. And at that point, I went into court and I worked for a Judge James Canham, who later became the chief judge. And so I just traveled along with him. When he left the court, then I went to work for the Honorable Thomas Foley. And I worked until about 1981, and then I left there and I decided I wanted to set up my own business. Gave that a shot. That wasn't the greatest experience, but it was an experience, and I have come to learn that you take what you can from all of your experiences and move forward. Never backward, always forward.
So today, Do you work as a reporter?
I do.
And with your own firm?
With my own firm, or if there is someone in the courtroom set up and they need someone and they call, I go.
Looking back on the time you've been a reporter, have you ever heard of the concept there was a right time to be involved in reporting? Was there ever a golden era of reporting?
Well, yes, I have heard of that, and yes, I feel that I was a recipient of the golden era. I have just loved every minute. I have just enjoyed what I could enjoy. The good old days, my family would probably tell you about. We did an awful lot of traveling. We had 2 children. One daughter presently is a tenured professor at the University of Michigan. And we had a son who became a minister and is now deceased. But they would tell you about the golden era and the good old days, the travel to the Caribbean and the, almost yearly.
Did you ever have any problems with raising a family around your reporting career? Did you have to make some concessions, do you feel?
Well, yes, but I always felt that the most important thing was the accurate record. And if that meant staying up tonight, excuse me, after I put the children to sleep, well, so be it.
Over the years, especially coming to all these conventions, which I know you've done for many years, what qualities best describe the reporters you most admire or admired?
Well, some reporters are just the ultimate professional, and some are not. And so I always try to kind of take a look, step back and take a look at the professional, see what he or she had going for themselves. What made them the ultimate professional? If someone wasn't the ultimate professional, well, it wasn't necessary to take a second look at them.
What in your mind did you discover? What qualities did you discover these people possess to make them the ultimate professional?
To do whatever it took to accomplish the job. I always wanted to be that type of professional. Sometimes maybe yes, and sometimes maybe not so.
But they provided inspiration to you.
Yes.
Was there ever a time you said to yourself, well, what am I doing in this profession?
Well, a number of times.